Good morning, Life Church. Our verse or psalm today is Psalm 51. And the context of this psalm is David having to face up to his sin with Bathsheba. Basically, probably he'd gone a few months without really facing up to that and being honest with himself and with God. But Nathan comes to him and tells him a story, and out of which he is deeply convicted and brings his sin to God in this psalm. And he appeals for God's mercy, not on the basis of who he is or what he's done, but on the basis of God's unfailing love and great compassion. And of course, we're all totally dependent on God's grace. And David takes responsibility. He talks about my sin. He makes it personal. And he sees that his sin is first and foremost against God, against you. You only have I sinned, he says. Despite the fact that he's obviously also sinned against Bathsheba, Uriah, their families, his kingdom. It went far and wide. But all of that faded into insignificance as he considered the greatness of his sin against God. And as he reflected on that, he realized that the evil he'd done was first and foremost in the sight of God. David realized that God was there and God was looking. Let's not pretend or kid ourselves that God does not see. He wants to help us to be honest with ourselves and honest with him. And when we are, that's when total forgiveness and total restoration becomes possible. And that experience makes you want to point others towards him and towards his amazing love and grace. And I trust that our heart will be to be real with God and then to point others to God's amazing grace.